Hey everyone, it's Coach Cathy. Are you finally ready? The 5 things that I do every single day that helps me maintain my 150-pound weight loss. If so, jump on over to my channel, The Bariatric Cheerleader, and I'm going to teach you the Coach Cathy method. And today I'm finally going to share with you 5 things that I do every single day that have helped me maintain my weight loss. If you're new to the channel, I've lost 150 pounds, and during the course of that I also became a certified weight loss coach here in Canada, and along the way I've learned a few things, and I've come up with a method that I feel is foolproof and easy to replicate for you, whether you need to lose 200 pounds, 100 pounds, that last 5 or 10 pounds, or you've met your weight loss goal and you just want to maintain. Because guys, let's not forget, maintenance is just as hard as losing. But it doesn't need to be overwhelming. Also, if you're new to my channel, please hit like and subscribe so that you don't miss any awesome videos like this. And if you're curious to know my whole journey, scroll back down to my very first video on this channel and you can hear exactly how I lost those 150 pounds. So the Coach Cathy method, let's get started. These 5 things all start with the letter S, and it's going to make it easier for you to remember. So our first S is stop. I want you to stop eating if you're not hungry. This is the weight loss saboteur, speaking of S's. If you are emotional eating, if you're eating when you're tired, when you're lonely, when you're actually not hungry and you're not checking in with yourself, if you're habit eating, if you're boredom eating, that is going to pack on the pounds. You're going to be consuming calories that you didn't need to be consuming. And it just kind of makes sense. Your body is smart. Now, sidebar. If you are a new bariatric, I'm talking anywhere from 6 to 12 months out, this does not apply to you. This number 1. It will eventually, but in the beginning, you're going to have very confused hunger and full cues, and you need to do what your team tells you to. But once you start feeling hunger again, that's the time to start applying this method, number 1. S number 2 is actually a twofer. It's satisfied, not stuffed. I want you to eat until you're satisfied, but don't push it until you're stuffed. This is when you need to constantly be checking in with yourself and looking for cues that you are satisfied. We don't need to be part of the clean plate club. We don't need to be wearing elastic waist pants before we eat because we know we're going to overeat. And we don't need to be gorging ourselves. There's no need to eat to the point where you're uncomfortable, where you need antacids after, where you just have that sick feeling, because often that's going to bring on guilt and shame and a bunch of other feelings besides being stuffed. So with number 1 and number 2, I want you to refer back to the Coach Cathy hunger scale. It's a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4. If you are a 1 or a 2, you don't need to eat. If you're a 3 or a 4, you absolutely do need to eat. And I'm going to link that at the end of this so that you can see. But check in with yourself. Use the halftime method when you are eating. Take a knife and divide your plate in half. Eat half of what you have on your plate and just check in. And then take that half that's left and put that in half so you're quartering it. And just constantly be assessing and seeing how you're feeling. You don't have to clean your plate. You're grown now. Method number 3 is sip. Sip that water all day. I don't care if you need to add Mio or Crystal Light or whatever, or a slice of lemon, but you have to maintain proper hydration levels in order to lose weight, in order to maintain your weight loss. This is very important for your hair, skin, nails, digestion, respiration, even sleep. This all makes a difference. A dehydrated body is not going to lose weight as easily as a well-hydrated body. You're not even going to function properly mentally. And if you are a post-op bariatric, this always matters. Dehydration is not your friend. And if you're not bariatric, it still matters. Proper hydration is important, especially if you're doing intermittent fasting or a keto diet or even a low-carb diet or any diet. Whatever your way of eating is, all of these methods are going to apply. And hydration is always going to matter. Now, how much do you need to drink? That changes based on individual needs, and we can talk about that further in another video. But for right now, your third S is sip. Sip that water all day. Number 4 is sustainability. This might be the most important one, or the one that people struggle with the most. You need to get out of the diet mentality. Whatever way of eating you choose to eat, it has to be sustainable. Can you go the entire rest of your life without a baked potato or a piece of birthday cake? Kudos to you if you can. I can't. The majority of you can't. 96% of people who lose weight are going to gain some or all of it back. This is because we have chosen methods that are not sustainable. Never forget, if the method is not sustainable, the results will not be maintainable. Anybody can lose weight, but hardly anybody can keep it off until we came up with these methods of sustainability. And how I make my way of eating for life sustainable, and what I've done while losing and maintaining my 150-pound loss, is the 80-20 rule. I have an entire video about this. Scroll down through my previous videos and you will see how to do the 80-20 rule. But in a nutshell, you eat foods that help you meet and maintain your weight loss goals 80% of the time, and 20% of the time you give yourself the grace and freedom to satisfy and honor a craving, or to have a piece of that birthday cake, or just eat something that doesn't look like your 80% foods. Your 80% foods and your 20% foods are going to look very different. And I promise you, it's going to help you not feel denied and to not feel like you're missing out. It helps with food FOMO, which is fear of missing out. And it's going to help scratch some itches that you may have. Extreme restriction for the majority of the population doesn't work, and it just leads you right back on the crazy train. And we hopped off that when we started Coach Cathy. Number 5, your last S is sleep. I want you getting 8 hours a day minimum, quality sleep. I know that's hard. I know it's hard if you are a night shift worker, or if you're pre-menopause, or if you're in menopause, but there are ways around that. I have 2 whole videos about sleep because that's how important it is. If you are not getting proper sleep, you're already setting yourself up the next day for more cravings for junk specifically. You're not going to be reducing your cortisol at night, which helps with fat loss. There are so many reasons why sleep and weight loss are actually very closely related, and weight maintenance, of course, too. But your number 5 S is sleep. I have 2 bonus S's for you. They're not important enough that I needed to put them in the top 5, but they are important. Number 1 is sunshine. If you haven't set your circadian rhythm, I highly encourage that, and that's actually going to help you with S number 5, which is sleep. But we actually make phytonutrients in our own bodies when we are exposed to sunshine. Some of them, we don't even know what they do. Doctors don't know why they're good. They just know they're good and they encourage it. But the biggest one is going to be vitamin D. The majority of people who live above the Mason-Dixon line or above the equator, you're going to have some vitamin D deficiencies, chances are, unless you actively try to keep your vitamin D levels up. If you're overweight, if you're in a northern climate, if you're a post-op bariatric patient, you also are going to struggle with keeping vitamin D levels up. Sunshine is the best way you can get it. It's more effective, and it's the kind we make ourselves is more bioavailable than even any supplements. And that doesn't mean you don't supplement, but it just means sunshine is a good thing. It resets our circadian rhythm. It helps with mood boosting. It helps produce serotonin and dopamine levels regulation. It's very important. Even if you can just sit near a window, if it's in the winter, for 5 minutes a day, it's going to make a big difference. And there's also UV light that you can get artificially, these little like table-side lamp things you can do. There's lots of ways, but don't underestimate the power of some sunshine. And the last S is a bonus S, and it's sedentary. Guys, sedentary is the new smoking. Being sedentary kills. It is a huge issue. But I don't want you to confuse exercise with weight loss. Exercise is important. Moving your body is important. It's just not going to be the best and most effective way for you to lose weight or for you to maintain your weight. It can be a part of it, but it wasn't big enough to make the top 5. but please be moving your body a little bit every single day. Again, it's going to help your sleep. It's going to help reduce cravings. It's going to help with your mood and your mental health. There are so many good reasons why we should exercise. It's just not for weight loss, but it's for overall health. And if you want to know why exercise is an inefficient way to lose weight, I have a video about that already too. So here's some things that can help you reach your number 1 through 5. Number 1 is planning your day out. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So things like meal prepping, logging your food, writing out what you want to eat at the beginning of the day, because 8 a.m. Cathy, I know, makes much better food decisions than 4:30 p.m. hangry Cathy. And so do the best you can to set yourself up for success. Another thing you can do is weigh daily or weigh weekly. This is just data collection. If you want to know more about the benefits of weighing daily, I have a video about that too, but it's just going to show you variances in your daily weight fluctuations, which are completely normal. And it really is those weekly averages and those monthly averages and those once every 3-month averages that show you the real picture. It's just a great way to show accountability and to check up on yourself once in a while and see if things are getting out of control. And keep long-term focus. This is the rest of your life. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. You know, Coach Cathy has told you, if it's fast, it doesn't last. Slow is the way to go. Be okay with slow. Learn to love slow and learn to love maintenance. I feel like I've won the lottery. When I get on that scale and within a 5-pound variance, it's basically the same thing day after day, week after week, month after month. That is winning. And it happened very slowly. It took me over 3 years for me to lose my 150 pounds. And now I've been maintaining it for about 1.5 years. So just know that these rapid crash diet things aren't the way to go, and they are not your friend. And finally, done is better than perfect. No one expects perfection. None of us are perfect. I'm not perfect. Do I always hit all 5 of these things every single day? No. Do I do it most of the time? Absolutely. You can do this too. It's so important to just keep trying, keep fighting for yourself, keep showing up for yourself every single day. If the first week of trying these Coach Cathy methods, the only thing you do is get 8 hours of sleep, that's a win if you weren't doing that before. So let's just have some realistic expectations and know that these 5 things actually are very doable. And there are many, many, many days in a row that I do hit all 5. It's actually rare that I don't hit all 5 of the Coach Cathy method. So just to recap, stop eating if you're not hungry. Put it down, walk away, divert your attention, do what you need to do, but stop eating if you're not hungry. Number 2, stop at satisfied. Don't push yourself till stuffed. Check in with yourself while you're eating and to see if you've had enough and if it's time to just push the plate away, or if you do actually have genuine hunger and you need to eat a little bit more, because if you do, that's okay. Number 3, sip that water all day. Get one of those cool tumblers. It doesn't need to be a Stanley or whatever, but just have water or fluids accessible to you at all times. And if it's been an hour and you haven't had a sip, it's probably time to take a sip. Number 4, sustainability. Use that 80-20 rule. Give yourself some grace. Honor some of your cravings. Be mindful about how you eat, but extreme restriction is not your friend for the rest of your life. And number 5, get that sleep in, get that 8 hours a day. There's supplements like ZMA and magnesium and different things that you can do if you do struggle to stay asleep or to fall asleep. Watch my sleep video if you need more tips, but make sure you're getting sleep. So that's it, guys. It's 5 very doable, simple things. This is my method. There's science backing everything that I've said. There's videos that I've done that have shown the science. I've done the research. I've read the books. I watched the podcasts and the YouTube videos and spoken with doctors. I've done all this because I know you don't have time to do all of that research. So I did it for you. So I promise you, if you follow these 5 very easy things, you are going to be much happier overall with how the scale is treating you, how your pants are treating you, how your energy levels are. And I'm very confident that if you consistently do this, because we know time plus consistency equals success, how you look and feel a year from now, even a month from now, is going to be very different than right now. So that's it as always. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Comment down below if you have any other questions, comments, or concerns. I love feedback. Hop on over to Facebook and join the Bariatric Cheerleader if you haven't yet, and we'll see you for the next video next time. Bye.